So there's construction outside. You might hear that while I'm talking. That's okay. They're building something outside. Last night I was washing my hands for an incredibly long time and I had a wild revelation about the movie Freaky Friday. Like, not the original one with Lindsay Lohan, the second one. It's not a sequel, it's just also called Freaky Friday and isn't related to the other one in any way. So in the movie, the mother and the daughter, and I forgot both of their names already, but the mother and the daughter have a really tense relationship because the mother is going to get remarried in like 2 days and just really wants everything to be perfect. She's a really orderly woman and she controls everything. And the daughter is a dirt gremlin who lives in piles of old clothes and wants to commit minor crimes with her friends the night before the wedding. But she really is tired of her mother trying to control her, so I don't know, she's just mad. And at the beginning of the movie, they swap bodies because while they're arguing, they're both holding either side of this giant, tacky hourglass. And once they switch bodies, it smashes on the ground and they lose it forever. At the beginning of the movie, you see the girl's little brother, who's into stage magic, do some weird stage magic with the sister's hourglass. And you think, logically, that this is where the magic that switches them is from, because obviously, narratively, that would make sense. But later in the movie, when they get their hands on the second identical giant tacky hourglass, it hasn't been spoken over by her brother and doesn't have any narratively magical qualities at all. I guess if you wanted to think in wild, baseless assumptions, you could assume that her brother had made the hourglass magical before the movie even started, but we're not the type of people who make those assumptions. And I think that the only logical conclusion that we can come to as an audience following the story is that the Freaky Friday girl's dead father was a wizard. When the man dies, he leaves both his wife and daughter identical giant tacky hourglasses with bright pink sand. And I'm going to be honest, I think that's a weird thing to give somebody. Like, he's lying on his deathbed and he's like, the only thing that matters to me are you and these hourglasses. Each of you take one. It's very important. Like, are they his prized hourglasses? Did they just keep time really well? And why give one to each of them instead of like both to one of them or both to the family? Because he's got like another child. Now, if they're already magic hourglasses from the start, it makes more sense why they would make this zany adventure possible and why one of them operates on the power of like hatred and misunderstanding and the other one on the power of love and understanding. Because they're two halves of a whole set of magical wizarding hourglasses. And I don't know. I also feel like it wouldn't make a lot of sense to give his beloved wife and daughter these horribly, horribly uncontrollable pieces of chaotic magic. But I think that since he's already a wizard, we can make the safe assumption that he could see the future and knew that they would have this problem. And he wanted them to understand each other moving forward following his loss. And honestly, I think that's worthwhile, even if it means that, you know, this happened the way that it did.